morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, hello. I'm not sure when you're listening to this, but you are listening to the Portsmouth podcast. I'm your host, Alexia Washington, the Public Information Officer for P-Town's finest, the Portsmouth, Virginia Police Department. We serve a community that's not too far from the ocean, not too far from the bay, right on the river, and we're producing this podcast for you, for the people of Portsmouth, so that you know what the vision is from the PPD for the city as it pertains to law enforcement, as well as the plan and how you can play a part in it. This is episode 11, and we have a wonderful guest today. We have Officer Brian Walkup. He is with our Uniform Patrol, and so I just want to say, welcome, Officer Walkup. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm perfect.
You're perfect. Well, thank you for joining us today on your day off. So we just want to get to know our officers, and so I'm really excited that you decided to come here today and speak with us. Mm-hmm. But can you give us a little background? So, tell us where you're from.
I am originally from Cavalier Manor in the city of Portsmouth.
Okay, Portsmouth native.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, where did you graduate from school?
So I moved around Portsmouth a lot, but I ended up in my high school. Original high school was Norcom High School.
Okay.
Did not graduate. I ended up getting my GED in 2010.
Okay.
But I always consider myself a Norcom graduate because I got my piece of paper. So. Okay.
So I'm from Norcom, mm-hmm. and that's an accomplishment because a lot of people, they decide that they don't want to do high school and they don't go back and get their GED. So that's an accomplishment that you did that. What kind of I won't say inspired you, but what was your driving force for going back to get your GED?
I always wanted to do something with myself, and I always wanted to get that piece of paper that said that I accomplished something. And my grandmother was also on my back and always kept me going forward, telling me never to look back. So I would say it's more just because of her and my willingness never to give up or let stuff go. Okay.
So your grandma had a huge influence on you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. My grandmother, God rest her soul, is always been my rock. So
that's a blessing to have someone in your corner and to push you to not look back, move forward, and you did it, and you accomplished getting your GED. So then, what made you want to become a police officer?
Don't laugh at me, but I actually wanted to be a cop because my mother used to make us watch this TV show called Chips when I was a kid. Because we only had one TV, so it was only one thing playing, is whatever she wanted. So it was Chips or the Young and the Restless, and I did not like that. Normally went to sleep on that part.
You didn't like Young and the Restless?
No.
So Chips it was?
Chips it was.
Okay.
I watched Chips, and then that's when Cops started to come on TV. And when I got to high school, who I made my honorary mentor is Officer Long, that's in the department now. He's been a good inspiration for me to follow because I've always seen how people would interact with him, even when he's in uniform or outside of uniform, and he still gets respect. We have our issues with certain people not liking the police, but I've rarely seen him have it. Okay. And people greatly respect him.
What do you think it is? What is it about Officer Long that people react to him that way?
I would probably say it's him. It's really hard to say it's him. Long always gives off that I never have to show physically that I'm a cop when you already know I'm a cop here. My presence is enough. Okay. But it's about never forgetting, number one, where you come from and what it took to get you to where you are now. Okay. So I think to me that's why people actually respect him.
Okay. So you knew Officer Long before you became a police officer?
He was our SRO.
SRO at Norcom?
At Norcom.
Okay.
Yeah. He had a few of us that's actually cops. Right now, Officer Reese, he went to Norcom, I went to Norcom. There's a few of us that actually went there. He was our SRO at the time. Okay. That's kind of cool, though. Your SRO is who, you wanted to model after as far as being a police officer. Mm-hmm. That's cool. So you can have
Well, I know that the police department isn't currently in the schools, but you can have that impact on young people just by your presence, how you engage with them, how you, I guess he's like relatable.
Oh yeah.
I've heard about Officer Long, but I haven't met Officer Long, so.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's the man. he's around. If you ever see on 164, you'll see him there.
Okay.
Look on 164.
Well, that's why
he's always
traffic.
He's always there. He's either there or he in court. he in one of them places.
So, what aspect of policing attracted you? So I know it was Officer Long and his presence, the way he interacted with you as a student. But what are some of the things about police officer, or was on CHIPS, that was like, you know what, I think I would like to do that, or I want to do that?
I mean, I like the motorcycles they was riding on. So
okay.
And it was investigating the crimes and doing it thoroughly enough to get the right person and not the wrong person.
Okay, that's important.
It was never to just to prejudge and say yes, you guilty. It was the point of them actually going out and actually following the leads, following the steps, going to witnesses and gathering evidence. Is just like what I see a lot of our detectives do now. It's never I know you did it. It's to follow the steps, and that's a big motivational for me too. Is being able to see that when I was a kid, and then see it now as an adult and as an officer now.
Following the steps, following procedure, and
right.
I mean what you said as far as making sure that you have the right person. Right. It's not just like, oh, we're trying to just close this case, but we want to make sure that we have the right person.
It's never about saying, oh, well, you match this, so it has to be you. It has to be, you have to follow the steps. It has to be steps. It has to be, you go out there, you hit the streets, find out what you can find out, and then you take all the evidence and you put it together, and then you try to form a basis off of the evidence that you found.
Okay, that's cool. So what was the training? Because I'm guessing like you might have been a little bit older going to the police academy.
Yeah, I was in my 30s. I think I was 32 at the time.
So how was that? Was it hard? Was it easy? Were you a person that was already like in the gym already all the time, or what was the academy like?
The academy, so I went to the academy twice.
Explain that process. So what happened?
Okay, so the first time I went to the academy, honestly, in my head I felt like I was ready, but I don't think that I was mature enough yet to handle it. And when it comes to doing things the way that you normally want to do them, to learning how to take leadership from someone that's in the same shoes as you, I think that was kind of a thing for me.
You mean like your classmates?
Yeah, my classmates.
Okay, so like having a class leader or something?
Yeah, because I've never been in that predicament. I'm good with taking orders from a superior or higher. I'm okay with that. I grew up in a military family, so I'm okay with that. But then learning how to deal with different people and their different way of life and how they grew up and their different ways of views and stuff, it was a difficult thing for me at that time. And with everything that was going on with my father, I don't think that it was my time to pursue that.
What were the mindset changes that you had to make to be better the second time?
I had to really come into myself, and I think it was kind of divine intervention, because when I got sent out from the academy the first time, my father ended up passing not even a month later. So I think taking that experience and understanding that my dad always told me to don't let nothing stop you.
Mm-hmm.
keep driving. And when I lost my dad, that just motivated me enough, because my dad always had my back. He knew I wanted to be a cop. He always supported me. So that was my driving force when I got back to say, forget the stuff that don't matter. Focus on everything that do matter.
Mm-hmm.
So different people's personalities, I learned how to understand that even my personality wasn't the best. So I had to take that, what I thought about that about myself, and apply it to everyone else too. Everybody's personality is not going to be the same. So we got to learn how to get along, talk, discuss, and come to a compromise. So I think that's what really helped me the second go around, is I learned how to compromise.
Okay.
And just, hey, let's motivate everybody and get through it.
So what you're describing is that takes a lot of growth and maturity to look inwardly to see what do I need to do? What kind of work do I need to focus on myself to be in a better place to accomplish my goals? Because a lot of times when we're trying to accomplish our goals, a lot of times it is us that is our stumbling block from being able to accomplish that. So
right.
that's good, and that's encouraging to see somebody do that and hear someone feel confident enough to share that that's what they did. So you're on Uniform Patrol. Mm-hmm. What are your day-to-day duties as a police officer? So last week we talked to Lieutenant Holly, but she's a leader within the platoon. What does it look like? That's I like that sign. You love Lieutenant Holly.
Oh yes. oh yes. Lieutenant Holly is one of the best people that I've ever met in my life.
That's nice.
She is hands down one of the best. She's not afraid to help. She's not afraid to come down there and check on her people. She's a harp on you for report writing, and when she harp on you for report writing, she will also help teach you how to make your reports better.
Okay. So it's not just harping.
It's just not harping. It's
constructive criticism.
She teaches at the same time.
Yeah.
And she motivates you at the same time. So when you got somebody that does all of that, it makes you want to keep coming back to work. She cares.
Okay.
She cares to make you a good officer. Well,
we talked last week. She was on the podcast. She was the podcast guest, and she had two careers that she was interested in: being a police officer and being a teacher. And so you said she teaches. That's part of her calling of what she does. So she's a police officer, but she's also a teacher. And I had talked to her about, when I did the ride along, just seeing how she interacted with her platoon. You can tell that you all respect her and that you guys care for her very much and like her leadership. But she's the leader over the third platoon.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it like being an officer in Uniform Patrol? So what are your day-to-day duties?
Every day before we actually go to the streets, we go to line up. So we mostly we did with line up. We get our information that happened the night before, if any happened, and we get then our lieutenant and sergeant gives us, their thoughts about what happened last night, if it happened, and what we can do today. We get out there, we go answer calls for service, no matter what part of the city it is. If it's a call, we go.
Okay.
And we do our best to get to every call on time in a timely fashion, and make sure we're safe doing it.
So what do you do? What's happening if there isn't a call? What do you do in between calls? Or is there you laugh and there's always a call? But on nights that it's kind of slow, or we can't say the Q word, but so what do you do on those days when there's not a call?
So when it's not, a lot of us, we'll do foot patrols, community relations, and we actually get out and we'll talk to people, and we'll actually try to, interact with as many citizens as possible. Sometimes we see kids or something like that, and I know I do. They say, well, you got a badge or you got a sticker? Give them the sticker, give them the badge.
Okay.
And and we just try to conversate with as many people as possible, because the only way I feel like as an officer, one of the reasons why I got into wanting to be a police officer is to make a difference. And the only way you can make a difference is if you put yourself out there to make the difference.
Right. So you have to interact with people.
Right.
You have to interact with the community, interact with the children, with the kids, because kids grow up to be adults.
Right.
They grow up from being kids to be teenagers to be adults, so you have to do that. The
babies are the ones that I want to always have a really good interaction with, because how they see us as when they're young is either going to be a good experience or a bad experience.
Right.
But if you don't try to make it at least an in-between experience, that could salty a relationship that you can possibly have with the next potential officer that's coming up in the world.
Right.
Because I want to see greatness out of the city that I'm actually from.
Right.
I want to see greatness out of these children, out of these adults, and for us to be able to, like I said, for us to be able to do it, we got to get out here and we actually got to talk and engage with these individuals.
Right.
Because some of them don't trust us, and it's not because of something that our city has done, but you have bad apples that made it hard for the rest of us that are actually trying to make a difference.
Right.
So then when we have a setback, it just makes it harder for us to get those steps back to move another 10 steps forward.
Right.
Which I don't mind a challenge.
You don't mind a challenge? Okay.
I don't mind a challenge at all. So if they can knock us back, but I'm gonna still power forward. Right.
Because your goal, like you said, you want to see your city accomplish greatness.
I want to see it flourish.
Okay.
I mean, I want to see the absolute best for this city. I think that our chiefs are doing excellent. I've seen Chief Jenkins out.
He's always out.
That motivates me. I mean, to the max. When I see our chiefs out there and they on the streets and they don't have no entourage like people will see on TV. I tell people, don't believe what you see on these TV shows all the time, because that's not how it is. Chief Jenkins out there for real.
For real? No entourage.
For real, no entourage.
People crowded around him, though.
He's by himself.
Yes.
He interacts, he talks, he goes to these places, and you'd be surprised how many people actually have a lot of respect for him. Mm-hmm. So and that's awesome. You see Chief Prince, and people have respect for him. I mean, it's amazing how you see how it just much of a difference it makes when you see them out there on the streets, and how people
leadership.
It makes a difference.
Chief Nelson and Chief Prince also out there in leadership. Well, I think this is a good place for us to take our first community break, and when we return, we're going to talk with Officer Walkup a little bit about some of the challenges he may face while he is on patrol.
Are you considering a career in law enforcement? Sign on today as a Portsmouth police officer and receive up to $1,500 if you're already Virginia certified. We offer a $1,000 allowance for a bachelor's degree and a $500 allowance for an associate's degree on top of your base pay. Officers can also earn additional income on time spent in court and at community events. Visit our website at portsmouthpd.us for more information on how to apply.
National Night Out will be here before you know it, so mark your calendars for Tuesday, August 6th, and join us at Festival Park for the ultimate community gathering. That's August 6th from 3 to 8 p.m. at Festival Park. See you at National Night Out. With Officer Walkup, we've been discussing some of like his daily duties and then just what he likes to accomplish and hopes to accomplish while he's on patrol. But now we're going to have we're going to talk a little bit about some of the challenges he may face, but also the rewards, but some of the challenges he faces when on patrol or, connecting with people within the community. So what are some of the biggest challenges you face in your role?
I think some of mine are, because I'm from the city, is seeing the people that I actually grew up with, and everyone is not always accepting of me being in law enforcement.
That must be hard.
At times it is, but I'm the type of person, if you cut me off, whatever. But it's still what makes it difficult is because some of these people are people that I knew since kindergarten.
Right.
So it's like, well, I don't judge you because of your job that you have or whatnot. But some people don't like that. So I mean, that's one of my biggest challenges is dealing with people that I know and grew up with. But as I tell anybody, you break the law, you break the law. I will never be the one that, I know you. Nah, it's fine. No, never.
Well, that's good. I hope that's the case.
I will never jeopardize what I hold dear to my heart for anyone.
Right. Do you find most rewarding?
The smiles on people's faces.
Okay.
I think that is some of the best things that can happen when you can have citizens unafraid to approach you and have a good conversation with you, because most people won't do it. And to have that one or two or however many people come up and actually say, hey, how you doing? And thank you for your service, and it, to me, it's like, I should be saying thank you for your service, and when I say that, it's because everybody has a story.
Okay.
Everybody has a story. Everybody has a background, and some of these people actually have been through things that ordinary people wouldn't be able to comprehend. So when I get to interact with them and sit down and talk to them, and we can smile and talk and joke around, and I think that's some of the most rewarding things. Having your supervisor, I don't have to have awards and stuff like that. It's good to have them. It's good to get them. For my supervisor, just Sergeant Foster or my Lieutenant Parker saying, "Hey man, you did a good job." To me, that is a good award.
Okay.
Because to me, it's never about being able to put a trophy up on my wall. Just a simple, "Hey man, you did a good job on this." Yeah. And it's enough for me to motivate me to say, you know what, I'm going to keep working hard for Lieutenant Foster, Sergeant Foster and Lieutenant Parker. I love just being able to say, have somebody be like, like I said, you did a good job today. Because I think that moves people more than getting a plaque. A plaque is good, but I think just acknowledging them for the hard work that you did that day,
right,
or that second, or that minute, is a lot more than getting a plaque.
It's obvious that that's not the reason why you do what you do.
Right.
Just here talking to you and seeing your facial reactions as you describe, like your interactions with teens or youth in the community and what you share with them. It's kind of apparent that's you get joy from just doing that aspect of your job. But I just want people to know, like, he's not just talking. He's a good officer, and he has been acknowledged publicly and with paper about what he's doing. So that's he's an outstanding performer. So
Yeah.
I think that's important. So that's the rewarding aspect, and we talked a little bit about it just when you talking about how you interact with people that you come across on patrol. What are some principles or that you use that dictate the way that you engage with the community when you're on patrol, that you're not just in your car? Because I remember, I think there was a meeting recently, or maybe it was on the huddle, where Chief was encouraging people, it might have been Chief Prince, get out of your car,
Right.
not just to drive on patrol, but to get out and talk to the people, talk to neighbors. It's obviously that's what you do, but is there an approach that you use on how you go about your day, and when do you get out the car?
I'm glad you said that. You dropped something. Psych. That's my icebreaker.
Okay. You got me. Okay.
That is my
That's your icebreaker.
That
okay.
is my icebreaker.
Okay.
I use that all day, every day, no matter who it is.
You drop something.
You drop something. And it'd be so funny because people could be having such a horrible day, and just that one little small joke put a smile on their face.
Okay.
So that will always be my icebreaker, always.
Well, that works, because I guess it can, for some people, you can be a little nervous on like how you're going to break the ice, how you're just going to walk up and talk to somebody, but that's what you do. You hit them with the get
smile
and smile.
I smile. I try to smile all the time.
Okay. You do.
Yeah.
I've seen you twice, and you're smiling.
Every time I try to make sure I smile.
Okay. So that's your approach, is just engage with a smile.
Yep.
And with a little icebreaker joke.
Yep.
And it works every time. And that's how you do it. So for those who are nervous on how to engage with people, even if you're not a police officer, a smile and an icebreaker joke.
An icebreaker joke.
Okay, it works every time.
Every time.
Okay. Do you have any examples of like someone who was like looking all grumpy, and you hit him with the hit him with the joke?
If I had to try to think about something, I was in Maryview Hospital the other day, and it just be some random. I think it was a custodial staff member, and she looked so mad. And she walked past me, and I said, "You dropped your phone right there." She looked down, psych.
I feel like it's the psych thing.
And she looked down. Oh my God, you play too much, but you smiled though. It made my day.
It made your day.
It made my day. Cause people be like, you play too much. Like, do you supposed to be doing that? Yes, I'm not a robot. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to joke. I'm going to have fun. That is how I get through my day.
That's how you get through your day?
That's how I get through my day.
Okay.
Good vibes. Good vibes is all I try to put out. That's all I want to put out.
So okay, with your time, your shifts are how long? 12, 16?
12 hours.
They're 12-hour shifts.
Sometimes more. Could be more, dependent.
What's going on.
Yeah.
How much of that time is spent outside of the vehicle?
As much as I can.
Okay.
As much as I can. If I can get out and stop, I will.
Do you think officers being outside of their vehicles is crucial to, like, obviously it's crucial to developing community relationships, but in helping prevent crime or stopping crime from happening? I don't like using the word prevent, because I don't feel like we can really prevent crime, but maybe impede things that are happening in communities. Inhibit or something.
Yes. I think actually getting out of the car and doing that, I think that can subside it, or at least prevent it to an extent, because I believe a lot of criminals do things when we are going by and we're no longer in their eyesight.
Okay.
Versus if you park your car somewhere, turn your strobe lights on, and you walk half a block down the road.
Your presence is felt.
Right.
And you're in the area. You're lingering in the area.
Right.
Okay.
And if someone appears to be suspicious or something appears to be suspicious, there's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, man, how you doing?"
Okay. And you hit them with the psych.
And you hit them with the psych, and they'd be like, "Oh man, he or she is here," and that deters a lot of things from happening. And
that's the word, deterrence, rather than me using prevention. Deterrence. Right. It's a crime deterrent. Okay.
Right. It helps because a lot of people actually that's really what a lot of citizens just want us to do a lot of directed patrols and getting out and actually walking the area and stuff like that. It keeps them feeling comfortable. The residents or the community feel comfortable when you're in the area. Right.
Okay.
Right. People, businesses, and just be surprised because a lot of the people that you see is even some of the homeless people. It's a good thing to sit and actually talk to them.
Okay.
Good stories. People don't give some people the time of day, and I'm not just talking cops. I'm talking ordinary people. Don't give a lot of homeless people the time of day. And if you actually talk to them, they actually are very, very smart, very helpful, and has a wealth of knowledge.
Okay.
Because people have hard times.
Right.
And sometimes it takes harder to get back up when you feel like you was knocked down on the ground. So you actually give them the time of day, talk to them. Some of them are good mechanics, some of them are good professional cooks with good recipes. I think that that's a good part of, for me, it's a good part of community policing.
You honestly are talking about the entire community, everyone that's there, that's part of it.
I don't wanna back nothing up and just say, hey, I'm solely protecting the businesses. No, I protect the city. The city is not just the property. It ain't just the streets or the street sign. It's the people. Everybody, tall, small, big or huge.
Housed or unhoused.
Housed or unhoused. You are my people. You are who I'm supposed to protect every day.
Okay. Okay, Officer Walkup. Yes. Empathetic officer. Sees the people.
I love what I do. I cherish this. And I tell you, I work so hard to get here. That's why I would never jeopardize my career for nothing. That's why I try to make sure that I follow the rules. And I know for me, dealing with a lot of my and positive people like my FTO Wishart and Officer Darden and even Sergeant Foster and Lieutenant Park and Lieutenant Holly, dealing with a lot of those positive people is amazing.
Okay.
You can't beat the wealth of experience dealing with them.
What is it about Lieutenant Parker?
Oh, that's my OG right there.
Okay.
Lieutenant Parker. Lieutenant Parker is he's a strong individual, and you will have to understand that having somebody that has to be in control of everybody, his job is a lot of stress because he's not just dealing with his subordinates, which is the sergeants, and then it comes trickling down to us. When you need him, he's there.
Okay.
When it's time to work, he's working.
Okay.
He helps you out. He teaches. He helps teach you too.
What would be an example of help teach you? So, because you've gone to training,
right?
You went through that. What would be something that Lieutenant Parker is willing to help you do, or not help you necessarily, but teach you to do?
I mean, he helped me with
help.
I had a report that I kicked back, and he gave you good examples of how to correct yourself.
Okay.
you know, and he gives you he'll break down policies, and he'll break down experiences that he didn't had, and and just so you don't make those same mistakes.
Okay. Yeah. So you feel supported by your leadership
all the time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not a good report writer. I'll be one to tell you. Anybody can be the one to tell you. And every sergeant and officer that I know that's there to not just to tell you when you're wrong, but to encourage you to do better and give you avenues to take to be better. That's what I like. Sergeant Foster has done that for me. Sergeant McCoy has done that for me. Sergeant Armitrout has done that for me. Officer Brown, Danielle Brown, she has done that for me. Has taught me how to break down my reports to the when, the where, the why, the how.
Okay.
And to put it into perspective.
Okay.
You know, and that's just like what I said about Lieutenant Parker. He did that for me yesterday, the when, the where, the how, the why. And it's amazing when you put people like that into your circle, and they are doing the thing that you want to happen to build a better officer. Because at the end of the day, everybody is gonna one day retire. Mm-hmm. And I want to be one of the officers that has a long and healthy career to be able to teach the next group of people.
Well, I think this is a good place to take our final community break. And when we return, we will speak with Officer Walkup about maybe some of his future aspirations, as well as just some personal insight.
Are you considering a career in law enforcement? Sign on today as a Portsmouth police officer and receive up to $1,500 if you're already Virginia certified. We offer a $1,000 allowance for a bachelor's degree and a $500 allowance for an associate's degree on top of your base pay. Officers can also earn additional income on time spent in court and at community events. Visit our website at portsmouthpd.us for more information on how to apply.
National Night Out will be here before you know it, so mark your calendars for Tuesday, August 6th, and join us at Festival Park for the ultimate community gathering. That's August 6th from 3 to 8 p.m. at Festival Park. See you at National Night Out. Back with Officer Walkup. We were talking about him feeling supported and having good leadership, good examples within the police department, and just encouraged to continue to be that officer or man of integrity as he goes about his police work. But I want to know, what are your future aspirations? Like, what are your goals career-wise? You see this being a police officer, I'm sure this is a career for you, but what do you hope to accomplish?
I want to accomplish, the first thing I want to accomplish is better report writing. Okay. That's one small term goal I want to actually accomplish first. I also want to be in the bureau. I want to actually go to the bureau. I actually want to be
a detective.
Yes, I actually want to go to SVU. That's one of my aspirations. I actually want to go there, and because that gives me a way to help a lot of people. I will go. If you want to put me in property crime, I'll take that too. It'll make a difference. I want to be able to help somebody, but I know SVU has always been one of my go-tos, that and in the gang unit. Okay. So
SVU, Special Victims Unit, and then the gang unit, you're interested in that as well? So you're 4 years in. What advice would you give to someone who is interested in a career in law enforcement?
Do it.
Do it. Okay.
Do it. This job is rewarding in itself.
Okay.
it is a blessing in itself. You cannot go wrong with doing something like this. But but don't expect that you think that every night or every day every call is going to be the same. It's never going to be the same.
Okay.
Every call is going to be different. It may be similar. The nature of the call may be the same, but when you get there, it can be completely different.
Right. You're dealing with different people.
I believe you can do this. Let's see where we can go with it. And you get out there and you go do it.
Okay. So your advice be,
right,
and just do it.
And just do it.
Okay.
Don't let nobody stop you. Don't let nobody discourage you.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Well, that's a nice place for us to end today's podcast. I want to say thank you so much, Officer Walkup.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I also want to say thank you for listening. Remember that this is your city. This is our city. So let's work together to make it great.